What's up, DC? Back to another review on Strange Adventures. Guys, this comic is written by Tom King and it's actually drawn by Mitch Gerads and Evan Shanner. So we got two different artists and one comic book writer that has mixed results on books. Usually when he does like big books like Batman stuff, it's not as really good. But when he does more like smaller stories like this and Mr. Miracle, it's actually pretty good. We'll find out this issue is actually as good as issue number 1. Since if you guys see my review of issue number 1, I really like that issue. That was a great issue. But this issue is more going deeper into how Mr. Terrific really went into this investigation on pretty much Adam Strange. So it's going to be really interesting, guys. But what we see in this issue is it starts out when we see pretty much Mr. Terrific, Michael, alright? And he walks into a shop and he pretty much orders a book that is pretty much the autobiography of Adam Strange. Now the guy he goes up to and buys the book from, he's like, oh, this is a great choice, I read it, man, Adam Strange is such a hero, he's a great guy. And pretty much Mr. Terrific's like, alright, we'll find out about that. Now, as he's going through this shop, pretty much his tea-spirits that are by him are asking questions, just like random questions in history, and it's pretty much like testing Mr. Terrific's mind, or pretty much his knowledge, and he keeps answering them easily. Like, some of these questions, I'm like, how the heck would you just know that off the top of your head? But Mr. Terrific just gets it like that. But what we see next, guys, we see Alana, and she's pretty much putting the daughter to sleep. Yes, Adam Strange and Alana have a child. So she puts the daughter to sleep, and Alana goes outside and waits for Adam Strange. Now she counts 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Adam Strange comes soaring in, and they both look at each other. And they're all happy, they're back together. Pretty much Alana tells him what has been happening at Rand. She tells them that pretty much the Pikes are taking over, they've taken over like the biggest cities, they've taken over a lot of stuff, and it's not going well. Like, they're going to be taking over and killing people, and soon Alana and him and pretty much all of Rand will be up in heaven. They'll all be dead. And Adam Strange pretty much gets on his knees. He's like, no, I swear that will not happen. No, this will not happen. We will not die. It'll be my honor to protect you all and save Rand. Just be sure that there'll be a reckoning. Now guys, we go back to Mr. Terrific, and we see Mr. Terrific, he's pretty much talking to Batman. He gets the book, and Batman's like, hey, check it out, I'm not supposed to get into this investigation because I know Adam Strange, it wouldn't be like fair if I got into it. So you pretty much read it, and then tell me your impressions on it. Now, we see Mr. Terrific, he reads it, and then he's pretty much running, one night he's just running, and he calls Batman, and he's like, hey, I actually got I read the book twice, I think he's a pretty good guy. Adam Strange, he's pretty much saved Rand so many times, and he's probably saved our world too. And at this time, he's talking to Batman over comms. Batman's actually fighting off against Mr. Pig, and he punches him in the face, which is actually pretty cool. Like, there's actually an issue in Tom King's run where Batman went against Mr. Pig. Now, the fight was cool in that issue, but that's the story. The whole Nightmare story arc was terrible. If you've read it, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that. But still, here, Mitch Gerads' art is really good. Like, Mitch Gerads' art in this issue is really well done. It's really cool, I like it, especially this fight between Batman and Mr. Pig. It's really paced very well. Now, what we see next, guys, is Adam Strange and pretty much Alana back on Rand. And guys, I think this is like a flashback. I think it is, I'm pretty sure. But they're talking to this one guy. And this one guy is like, hey, there's these pretty much tribe called the Hellotats. And they're pretty much, they're not really civilized. Rand has tried to make them civilized and team up with them, but they're our only hope. If you go to them, they'll be pretty much inflicting violence. They'll try to kill you, but if you convince them to help us, then Rand will be saved. So pretty much this guy sends Alana and Adam Strange for pretty much a quest to save Rand. So we see this awesome splash page by Evan Shanner. We see Adam Strange flying, we see Alana flying, it's really cool, but they fly a certain distance, but Alana's jetpack goes loose. It pretty much just destroys, she starts falling, Adam Strange barely saves her, and what he says is, alright, you pretty much take the jetpack, you go pretty much go to the Hellotats, convince them to help us out, I'll stay here and wait for you, right? But Alana tells Adam Strange that no, this jetpack is designed for you. Your father designed it for you, not me. If I did that, I'll probably lose. And we'll both die. But if I stay here, you go do it, you can come back, and I know you'll save me. And I'm sure he's kind of nervous. He's like, are you sure about that? And pretty much Alana's like, yeah, I'm sure about that. Like, you'll come and save me. So Adam Strange takes the pretty much jetpack, he goes up. Now what happens to Adam Strange is in mid-flight, like pretty much halfway there, the jetpack pretty much explodes. He goes down into the sand. It's pretty much messed up. Like imagine you're flying, you gotta get there in time, and then you just go boom into the sand. So he goes boom to the sand, and what he does is he waits there. He's like, I gotta keep walking and stuff. But an alien monster comes by, and he looks like he's dead and stuff. He acts like he's dead. The monster goes above him. He shoots the monster in the head, pretty much, or just shoots the monster, kills it. He takes the juice from the monster and uses that as water to keep him going. He walks the desert for a day. Like, I think it was like a day or two or so. But he walks a long time and eventually gets to the Helitats. And he pretty much points a gun against the Helitats. The Helitats like, you are not part of the tribe. And pretty much Adam Strange's like, I don't care. You gotta help me out because I gotta save my wife. I gotta save Rand. You gotta help us out or I'll kill you. And pretty much the Helitats look around like the leader. He's like, alright. So they're actually gonna help out Adam Strange. And that's actually where we wrap up that part of the issue with Adam Strange and Alana on Rand, that part. And that whole part was actually drawn by Evan Doc Shanner. It was drawn very well. The action was cool. Seeing them like pretty much Adam Strange fly in the jetpack and go straight into the sand looked awesome. Like I really like the contrast between Mitch Gerads' art and Evan Doc Shanner's art. It's really good because you can see it's like different in tone. The misterific part of this issue is way different in tone compared to the whole Adam Strange and Alana part of this issue. So it's good that they separate the artists. Now, to the misterific part of this issue, we see pretty much he's talking. There's a couple parts in this issue that are kind of boring with him. Because you see pretty much the T-Spirits just asking him a bunch of questions, challenging his knowledge. You see him pretty much go to a gunning range, just shoot a bunch of things, and they answer some questions. You see him lifting, and the T-Spirits ask him, hey, what's the story of Sir Gawain the Green Knight? He tells the whole freaking story, like 2 pages of him talking about Sir Gawain the Green Knight, which I was bored. Like, I read through that, and it was slog, alright? It's only 2 pages, but it's a real slog, because come on, I want to read about Mr. Terrific, Adam Strange, and the other stuff that's going on, not about Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. I read that at school. I don't need to read it here, right? This is not a literature class. But we see him pretty much answer all these questions. There's even one part where he's talking about me about, oh, Adam Strange is on Lunchables. Why not? Why am I not? I've been like pretty much to the Olympics. I made big tech. I've done a lot of great things, but Adam Strange is pretty much praised more. Now, I'm not mad about that. But what I am kind of like bored about in this part is he's pretty much carrying some weights, tosses it into the ice, and he pretty much dives into the ice to get the weights. Like that whole scene meant nothing. Like, it's these certain scenes with Mr. Terrific in this issue, him lifting, talking about Sir Gawain the Green Knight, or him just shooting out of shooting range, him at the ice, pretty much diving to get his weights in the water, the freezing cold water, while the T-Spirits just asking questions. I feel like that was just a bunch of filler. Like, I get this supposed to lead to a point where, oh yeah, he finally gets a question wrong, and it's the big question that he's trying to answer. I get that. But here, it just felt very boring. It was a lot of action, the whole Adam Strange and Alana part, but then we're here and I'm just bored, right? But still, we get to one final part where Mr. Terrific tells Batman that, hey, I'm not going to be giving you any impressions on what I'm going over anymore. I'm just going to go on and try to talk to Adam Strange himself, and then I'll give my final result to you in the League, Justice League, soon. But no more pretty much talking about Batman. So he cuts Batman off, and he pretty much figures out in the book that Adam Strange says that his daughter is dead. But Mr. Terrific knows that that is wrong. So Mr. Terrific is like, if he's lying about that, he's probably lying about a bunch of other things. So he's like, why don't I just go meet up with him? So he goes meet up with Adam Strange and Alana. They're at the apartment, and that actually leads us back to the end of issue number 1, where he said, hey, welcome in, let's just talk about this. And pretty much Mr. Terrific is going to ask his very first question. Well, the issue ends with pretty much Adam Strange pushing down the photo of his daughter. So we'll find out more about that next issue. I thought that was very interesting. But this issue is pretty much like a prologue to last issue. If you think about it, like this could not be issue number 1 because we didn't know how Mr. Terrific, what he was investigating. Like remember, Adam Strange was framed for murder last issue, so that leads Mr. Terrific to read about this book. So we know what's going on now. So hopefully next issue it gets a lot more interesting, and hopefully there's not as much filler like this issue. Like, I feel like the good stuff in this issue was pretty much Adam Strange and Alana on Rand. That was awesome. Mr. Terrific and Batman interacting, that was great. I really like those. But the whole thing with Mr. Terrific just answering questions to the T-Spirits was boring and filler. So that kind of docks this issue. but not a lot, right? Pretty much docks the issue just a little bit. Like, still, the art was amazing, alright? Tom King's writing was pretty good in this issue. I did like his writing in those certain spots, and the two, like, pretty much plots in this issue. The Mr. Terrific one and the Adam Strange one. And the artists really separate out really well. Mitch Gerads' art was top level, Evan Doc Sharon's art was top level, so the art all around was awesome. But yeah, guys, the only problem I have with this issue was pretty much the filler with Mr. Terrific answering just really random questions, especially the Sir Gawain the Green Knight scene. Like, that was boring. Overall, I give this issue an 8 out of 10. I recommend it. It's solid. You should check it out. And if you pretty much want some Tom King, this is actually really good. Like, Tom King, I know people don't like Tom King's writing, a lot of people, or just certain people, but I still give him a chance on these certain stories, because he was great in Mr. Miracle, not good in Batman, but I feel like this Adam Strange and Strange Adventures comic is more in line with the Mr. Miracle one, where it's just about one character, and it's more focused, not really, bringing in all this stuff, trying to make an event, like City of Bane, nothing like that. So this is where Tom King does well. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much my review. In the comment section below, tell me about this issue. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you think about pretty much Mr. Terrific being involved in the story? I really like Mr. Terrific. He's an awesome character. He's great in here. What do you think about the different artist choices, like Mitch Gerads and Evan Doc Sharon? Do you think that was a good choice, or should they just have one artist for the entire book? But yeah, guys, if you like the video, give a big thumbs up on YouTube. Make subscribe. This is my next Strange Adventures review. I'll be going over all the issues up to issue number 12. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.